my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp. I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face. I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream I'm dedicated. For a second, lost myself. I was too busy getting. Now they see me out in public and be knowing what my name is. All these rappers want the clout and the life of being famous. I just want to be stable. Tell my family we made it.
Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather, and we are underway from Cincinnati. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And some room to work. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On 1st down, Keenum. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Keenum going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So our initial drive this afternoon results in 3. Not sure that that's a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
You're exactly right about that. I love how you framed it, right? Not sure it's a statement, but at the same time, you're putting something out there, aren't you? Letting them know, hey, we came to play today.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The Pro Bowler Chris Harris is in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Bengal first down on a 16-yard pickup there.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor, eluding the pressure right. Room to run inside. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Taylor. And his throw here is incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And a big... Turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice the game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Keenum to throw on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Keenum. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. It's taken to the 26. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
First try for the right arm of Dalton here. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. First and 10 for Dalton. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Bernard. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find the crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing on first down is Keenum. Going for the deep ball. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Oh, twisting away. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Ajayi. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And now to the air, Dalton. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton off play action. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
So they get the INT. Now here's Keenum. Fast footwork by Sanders. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Only a yard and a pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Out of the gun, Keenum. He's going to sling this deep down. Oh, wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Nick Boyle, 51 yards. And the Broncos are in for 6.
And And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Close there. He caught it, just wasn't able to stay in bounds.
And that's where the sideline, it was used as a 12th defender. You know, 11's legal. This one is an imaginary one that my college coach used to call Sammy Sideline. Sammy Sideline can protect you at times, and in this case, that's exactly what he did for the defenders.
And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hey. 4 down.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And Bullock will put this one through, and that'll bring them back within 4. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
They run with Ajayi, and he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Dalton, 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Let's go, let's go.
Keenum now on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
To throw on second down is Keenum. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Tackled by Jordan Willis.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing is Keenum on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Airing one out for Boyd. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Navarro Bowman coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On play action, they'll throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big third down play there for the Bengals. 49 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Ajayi. And an alley to run. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
This is Ajayi. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Now a handoff looking right, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And they'll go on the ground. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll eat some clock with Freeman. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Roger.
Keenum going to throw on 3rd and 1. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Dre Kirkpatrick, the cornerback, up to make the stop.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And McManus able to put it through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He drops it off for Bernard. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
They'll look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete. He's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. They run for it with a giant, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll run it here. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Yeah, we're good, we're good. We're hot.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they stop him with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. The Broncos on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Keenum. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us, because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for the Bengals, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Denver, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.